nice and early at Heathrow Airport, trying to keep Julie out of the shops, although no space. No space for shopping. And Australia Vespa Days, here we come. And first leg of our trip via Adelaide, then Brisbane, and then up to Nambour. I'm really looking forward to it. Our first stop in Adelaide was to meet up again with members of Julie's family, Carol and Lawrence. We had a day in Port Adelaide, and then the following day we took a trip out to the outback, or nearly the outback, starting with Lake Bumbunga, where we saw the absolutely spectacular Loch-eel monster, and somebody's been very, very creative in making this a local tourist attraction. Driving further in towards the outback, we visited the country town of Clare. Then climbed Nagel's Point to the lookout to see some spectacular views around the valleys. Accommodation for the night was this typical Australian farmhouse, surrounded by vineyards but pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Lovely little place with a very traditional tin roof. We were entertained by the birds all coming into nest as it got towards dark, and then went out for a meal at the local pub.
Treated to a spectacular night sky and kangaroos in the garden the following morning.
And on the way home we stopped for the obligatory wine tasting in both the Clare and Barossa valleys. Following afternoon we took a flight into Brisbane, and when we arrived it was pretty damp and humid. Most of the locals walking around in shorts, t-shirts, but carrying brollies, presumably a bit sticky for raincoats. Took a walk around the central city district, across the river, and walked back along the south bank. Took the lift up to the 23rd floor viewing deck of the newly built casino for some fairly spectacular views, and then back to our hotel room for the evening.
In the morning we started out with a lovely walk around the Botanic Gardens. fascinating.
Yeah.
As the branches spread, it sets down further roots.
The mix of colonial and modern buildings is always fascinating in Australian cities. We crossed the Kangaroo Point footbridge and walked along Kangaroo Point over the cliffs and back along to the South Bank for our second visit, where we picked up a ferry to take us further down the river on one of the city cats.
From here we took in the views of the city from Mount Kuthar.
Well, that's Brisbane done, and not quite a week, but the end of our first leg and virtually our first week in Australia. What was your highlight?
Oh, it's got to be in the outback.
The cottage?
Yes.
I think so.
Seeing the stars.
And the kangaroos in the
Oh,
garden.
they were amazing.
Something a bit different, getting out of the city, seeing the countryside. Wine tasting was all right.
Yeah.
Don't mind a bit of wine tasting. Next stage is Australia Vespa Days over the weekend, collecting a hire car tomorrow and on to the Sunshine Coast. But it doesn't look like it's going to be very sunny. But we've got 4 days there. We'll see what it brings. Until then, we'll see you soon. Please give us a like as normal and subscribe, and catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.